Okay, students, today we will discuss about purine nucleotide synthesis. So, let me first explain that what are the different purines. Okay, so as I already discussed about DNA structure and different components of DNA, right? So, DNA involves some bases, purine and pyrimidine bases. So, in this lecture, we will discuss that how these purine derivatives are synthesized in human cell, okay, or we can say in eukaryotic cells. So, purine basically it starts from the component that is known as ribose 5 phosphate, and this ribose 5 phosphate will come from pp pathway, that is hmp shunt. Okay, so what is pp pathway? That is pentose phosphate pathway. So by that pathway, this ribose 5 phosphate we obtain. So this ribose 5-phosphate will convert into IMP, that is inosine monophosphate. IMP is inosine monophosphate. Then this IMP will convert into GMP, that is guanosine monophosphate, and on another hand, it convert into adenosine monophosphate. Okay. So basically two intermediates we have, that is GMP and AMP, which both are synthesized by IMP. Then this monophosphates will convert into diphosphate, and this diphosphate will convert into triphosphate. So GDP will form, then GTP will form. On another hand, ADP will form by AMP, and finally we get ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. So what is the conclusion here? Our cells first produce this IMP. So we have to learn this, that how our cells prepare this IMP by different steps. So let's start discussing about the steps. Total we have 11 steps in this pathway. We have 11 steps. So here I put some trick to recognize, or you can say to remember these they how you remember these steps, because you will get MCQs in your end semester examination, so it is not easy to just put all the steps. Okay, so one by one I am giving some tricks here to recognize or to remember these steps, these 11 steps. So total steps are 11. So first questions will be, can put by examiner that how many total steps are involved in IMP synthesis. So total steps are 11. Okay, so step 1, 3, uh, fifth step 6 and 8. So total steps are 5 steps we have. So they all they all require ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, because you all know that we need some energy to break the bonds between the chemical moieties. So here you require ATP, right? And something is going to synthesize here, right? So enzyme is known as synthetase enzyme. Okay, so first step, third step, fifth step, sixth step, and eighth step, they all step require ATP, as well as they require enzyme which is known as synthetase enzyme, right? So two requirements are there basically. The requirements are two: first ATP, and the second one is synthetase enzyme. Okay, so this is the first thing which you have to keep in your mind. Now there are some other notes which you have to learn. Okay, so step second and fifth require glutamine. So this is they all are amino acids which require in different steps. Okay, so total steps are 11. Okay, step 1, 3, fifth step, sixth step, eighth step require ATP and an enzyme known as synthetase enzyme. Now step second and fifth require glutamine, that is an amino acid. So step second and step fifth require glutamine. Step third require glycine, which is again an amino acid. Step fourth and tenth require THF, that is tetrahydrofolate. And step 7 and 8 require what? Step 7 require carbon dioxide, and step 8 require aspartate. So they all are what? Amino acids. So just recall again. Step second and fifth require glutamine. Step third require glycine. Step 4 and 10th require tetrahydrofolate, that is THF. Step 7 require carbon dioxide. Step 8 require aspartate. Now, you can draw a pattern like this. Just you have a pattern in your mobile phone, right? So just draw this pattern in this way, right? In this way, I'm drawing here like this. Okay, so just one, this and this, like this. Okay, so just draw this pattern. Now you can see, write one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just write 9, 10, 11 closely. Okay, close to each other. Okay. So now, step 1 require ATP. Then step third require ATP. Step fifth require ATP. Step seventh do not require ATP. Now step 8 require ATP. Okay, so total steps 1, 3, 5th, 8 and 6. Okay, so 1, 3, 5th, 6 and 8, they all require ATP. So just write down in superscript ATP, because these steps require ATP. Okay, now again, just circle second, fifth and fourth and 10th. Just encircle these digits: second, fifth, fourth and 10th. Okay, why I'm telling you, just wait a minute. Now write down in subscript the amino acid which require in a particular step. So step second require glutamine. Step third require glycine. Step fourth and 10th both require THF, right? Fourth and 10th require THF. Now both second and fifth require glutamine. So just write glutamine in between second and fifth. Step uh, which step? Fourth step, actually, basically fourth step, not third step. But you can see, just a moment. So step third require glycine, right? So third step require glycine. Just a moment. So step third require glycine. Step fourth, if you are not going to confuse here just by these circles. So just put the circles here in fourth and 10th. So fourth and 10th require THF, that is tetrahydrofolate, right? Step 8 require aspartate, and step 7 require carbon dioxide, that is CO2, right? So the this is the trick by which you can learn the IMP synthesis. Okay, step 9 and 11 do not require anything. They both step do not require anything, but they liberate something. So these steps involve liberation of the compound. So what will be the product? In ninth step, there is a liberation of fumarate, and in 11th step there is a liberation of water molecule, right? In ninth step there is a liberation of fumarate, and in 11th step there is a liberation of, or we can say, removal of water molecule. So how this is the way you can learn the whole pathway of IMP synthesis. Okay, so just again I'm telling you that how this IMP will form. So starting from where? Ribose 5 phosphate. We have ribose 5 phosphate, as you know, by PP pathway, by pentose phosphate pathway, by HMP shunt pathway. You have ribose 5 phosphate sugar with you, right, in your cells. So this ribose 5 phosphate will undergo this purine nucleotide synthesis, and first step will require PRPP synthesis, because there is a formation of PRPP. Okay, so ribose 5 phosphate will convert into PRPP, that is phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate. Now this PRPP, that is ribosyl pyrophosphate, will convert into 5 phosphoribosylamine. Okay, so this 5 phosphoribosylamine will convert into glycinamide ribosyl 5 phosphate, and this glycinamide ribosyl 5 phosphate will convert into formyl glycinamide ribosyl 5 phosphate. Now this formyl glycinamide ribosyl 5 phosphate will convert into formyl glycinamide ribosyl 5 phosphate. Okay, uh, what is the difference between these two? There is a formyl glycinamide ribosyl 5 phosphate, and here formyl glycinamidine. Here amide, and here amidine. Okay, so formyl glycinamidine ribosyl 5 phosphate. Now after these steps, uh, you can write the requirements over here by this trick. Okay, So after fifth step, there is a sixth step, and here there is a ring closure. Ring closure means there is a formation of ring. So which is the ring here? That is imidazole ring. Okay, so amino-imidazole ring, amino-imidazole ribosyl 5-phosphate will form, and in seventh step there is a carboxylation reaction. So amino-imidazole will undergo carboxylation reaction and addition of carbon dioxide in the presence of carboxylase. So amino-imidazole carboxylate ribosyl 5-phosphate will form, and again then there is a addition of aspartate. Now this amino-imidazole carboxylate ribosyl 5-phosphate will convert into amino-imidazole succinyl carboxamide ribosyl 5-phosphate. Now this amino-imidazole succinyl carboxamide ribosyl 5-phosphate liberates something, right? Nine step involve liberation of the compound. So there is a liberation of a compound which is known as fumarate. So fumarate will liberate here by the enzyme lyase enzyme, and amino-imidazole carboxamide ribosyl 5-phosphate will form. Now this amino-imidazole carboxamide ribosyl 5-phosphate will convert into form amino-imidazole carboxamide ribosyl 5-phosphate, and in last step again there is a liberation of water molecule, and cyclase enzyme will come, and IMP will form, inosine monophosphate will form. So this is the short video of IMP synthesis. This is the material which I provide you here, and these are some tricks by which you can learn the requirements and what are the different amino acids which require in IMP synthesis. If you require the same video in Hindi and with easy explanation, please write on a comment box immediately. So I will upload the same video in Hindi tomorrow. Thank you so much.